So hey YouTube, it's April 20th, day before Easter. Started a camper build. Been wanting a camper for a while. Thought about getting another pop-up. A lot of great memories, camping, everything else. But I don't want to buy a camper that has the typical wood cabinets, the typical curtains and everything else. I wanted something a little bit more rugged, a little bit more off-road looking. So I decided to build it myself. Putting larger 30-inch tires on it, kind of beefing up everything, giving it more of a rugged off-road look. Experienced carpenter, not much with metal, so I'm on the first stage of this. I picked up a trailer for dirt cheap. I started to bring it home. It had been rolled in a ditch. The construction firm that I bought it from had an employee go off-road and put it into a ditch, and when it did, it didn't take it out of plumb. It didn't take it the 90-degree angles out, but what it did was rack the frame. I'll kind of show you here with what happened. Let's see, sorry. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. So as you can see with the frame, everything was kind of twisted. Both sides of the tongue supports. The jack was obliterated. Good solid frame though. There's a lot of, if you look at them, bent beams. I've already straightened out 2 of them. And a third one here is pretty straight, but not totally. But I stopped straightening them out because my original plans were to have a 14-foot trailer, and this one's 16-foot. Most people want more space. The idea I wanted was not to have 16 feet, so I decided to cut the frame back. As you can see, it's a dual axle trailer. They're 235 100-pound axles on them. So what I'm doing today is I've started cutting them back. I've got several parts already removed before I started this to do a vlog. I noticed a lot of times when looking on the internet to get information on what other people have done, people who build these wind up putting 4 or 5 photos, buying the $2,500 brand new trailer, buying everything super expensive. I'm not that person. I like to repurpose. I like taking things that people have put in fields to rust and making them new again. I've done it with motorcycles, I've done it with furniture, done it with a lot of stuff, so why not do it with a camper? I like to do a lot of primitive camping, but my wife likes to glamp, and this is a good meeting place in the middle. Got a lot of work to do with this, a lot of rust to remove. I am not a metal fabricator. I'm an artist. I work behind computers all day. I do have somebody, once I get everything ready to go, to come out and show me how to weld, but I'm gonna have him weld all the pieces on. But I'm gonna get everything ready for him. So what I'm gonna do is just take you step by step through this entire build and see where we go from there. Just one last time to go over everything. The trailer's quite rusted. You can see all the bent, that's weird to look at it that way, the bent axles, or the bent beams on it. This axle's straight. This one was already kind of piecemealed together, so I'm taking this axle out and having this one. Normally when you have a trailer, they have to be on a 60-40 split where the axle is on the trailer. I'm cutting this back to 12 feet from 16. If you look at the wheelbase, right in the center here is 60% of the trailer. Well, when I move it back to the 12 feet, where I'm looking from this beam all the way back, it'll no longer be the 60-40. But what I'm going to do is actually the back end of it pitches. It's going to go at 12 feet to 14 foot, but there'll be a 2-foot rise in the back where underneath the bed. And the reason I'm doing that is just to give it a little bit more of that off-road look. You'll see it when it's done. It'll have kayak racks on it. It'll have solar panels. Everything will be low voltage for batteries in the solar panel, minus the air conditioner on top, because I have to have some amenities for my wife. Love you, baby. But other than that, basically what I'm going to do is when I take off this back axle and add the 2 feet to it, this front axle will be right back at 60-40 split, which will be perfect. You'll notice the rack on the camper itself. There was a 16-inch rise from the one corner to the other. I've got it down to about 4 to 6 inches now. I have to remove those tongue beams to get the rest of the rack out. I am going to wind up putting a 2x4 frame on the whole bottom. The reason I'm not going with the thicker one or putting more beams in, I am going with a 1/2-inch treated plywood on top of that. But the whole underbody of the frame will be basically a truck bed liner. It'll be sealed. Once I get all the rust off, I'll grind most of it off, and then I'm going to neutralize everything. And then I'm going to prime it, and then put the essence of Rhino lining the bottom of it. But I'm going to do the underneath of that treated plywood also. Then on top of that treated plywood goes the regular subfloor grade plywood that I'll put on top, and I'll start building the frame up from there. I'm expecting to be the total weight about 2,500 pounds, not loaded with personal, but just the camper itself with everything in it. It won't have a shower, but it'll have a toilet. It'll have a bed, sink, stove, plenty of storage space for my wife's stuff when we travel. Basically, this one's to get us cross country, so we can, we're not retired by any means, but we're starting to want to travel a little bit more. Hope you enjoy the build. I'll take pictures by the end of the day and a little video and show you what I've done when I put this one all together. But I'll take you step by step through this build, from the demolition to the framework to the custom work going on the inside to the low voltage system and everything else.